Hey, let's play my level. This is the last level I made for Infiltration, putting together all that I'd learned and basically trying to put in as many whiz-bang fun things as I could to make it a bit more interactive. This is the guide I wrote for the map. That's how sad I am. I might have put a bit too much effort into this with hindsight. It's based on a real part of London, Moorgate, Finsbury Square, I think. If you go there today, you may recognise some of the buildings around that square and indeed the underground car park. The rest is a bit of an amalgam of bits around there and alterations for the sake of gameplay. So by this point I built up a lot of London city textures from walking around with my camera. Back then it was a bit of a novelty to have a digital camera, and I'm quite pleased with the way this worked out. I had a few iterations, a lot of help from the community to get it a bit better. Not all of this was my work, and but anyway, here we go. So we're inside the vault, or rather this is where we'd like to go, and there's the CD locked away. I can't even remember how that works, to be honest. There was a thing with the lights in the vault where they light up if you step on them. That's one of the things I did. Basically I was finding lots of ways to try and make it a bit more interesting. There was a mutator or a system file that I'd added to this level that somebody else had done, which created sort of litter on the ground which moved as if in the breeze. It wasn't terribly realistic, but it again added a bit of movement and life to the map. So yeah, these are all buildings in London, in the sort of city area. Quite a few objectives. Inside the vault itself it's quite confusing, but giving a few objectives meant that the defenders were slowed down, the attackers were slowed down, giving the defenders a chance to organise themselves and lay claymores and so on, to make it a bit more tactical. So this area is covered by the helicopter. Contact. Oh, and I got shot. But that person who shot me is in danger of being shot themselves by the sniper actor, where if somebody goes near the spawn they get a warning shot and then they actually get shot. But my teammates have secured this building, so this is now where I spawn. That big gun there has appeared. That is the sniper actor, which will shoot anybody from the opposing team who wanders by. To be more realistic, there'd be somebody actually manning the gun, but hey, I made a small concession. Just to the left of where I am now was the main objective, but I'm going down here to join my fellows to secure an area which will bring in a support helicopter. I can't remember if they're securing it now or if we all need to be there at once. But there you go, so the clock's ticking down now. It might have been ticking down before. Or maybe you need at least 2 people, I forget, but there's a slight tweak on the normal rules. And that shop awning is a deco, so the lighting's terrible, but it's not taking up much processing time. So that's now done enough to bring in the helicopter. We've secured those 2 locations. You can also go through there, I think. So there's the helicopter going in, and I'm going to fly it onto the top of the objective while my compatriots, my teammates rather, go in and get shot. So this is basically the fun bit of the map. And there we go, I'm on it. That was the Infiltration standard Black Hawk helicopter. There we go, and we're off. Now online it did have some odd effects because the physics wasn't quite right. I think I hadn't set the physics to be sort of floaty, so people were sort of dropping down visually. But if you're on the helicopter it looked smooth enough, and you had a vantage point to shoot people in the square and through those windows. And there's a firefight going on in the building beneath me. Now there are these rappel ropes where I think I've defined a little zone where you can fall very gently if you're in the right place. And let's see if that works. Yep. So I am in. It's a one-way deal. The helicopter will fly off again and never come back. But yeah, so it allows you to stage a sort of dual attack. There's nothing up here except a vantage point, but there's no defenders there. You can go under that square in an underground car park for an extra bit of Oh, they've disabled the switch box already, so they are well ahead in terms of getting that CD out. There we go, this is the lobby. Now, another thing is, I think it was the Infiltration team proper put in these keypads so that you could have different delays depending on whether you're the defenders or attackers. The point being the attackers just use them, the defenders have to hack them. You can also just disable it entirely so that only defenders or attackers can enter their spawn points, say, or go via certain quick shortcuts. But I left it so that all these keypads can be hacked with a bit of time. So you hack the keypad and then open the door, and then it resets. So that's throughout this building, which is sort of nominally high security. And let's deal with him. And what I forgot is that this is the actual defender spawn, so if I did get in there I'd get shot by the sniper that they have. So I need to go out again. And I try to put in multiple routes, some of them slow, like the lift which I'm going to use, so again need to hack that. And by this point, on my Great Inn map I'd made a fairly comprehensive elevator system, which did what I wanted to do, so different actors for the doors, for the inside, the outside. It was a fairly realistic elevator. The thing that wasn't quite right was the logic of calling it and which floor it would go to. This is going to take me down into the vault, and I think the vault doors are open, but I basically want to have a little look around. Every time I play it, even though it's my own map, I get very confused. I think everyone else gets very confused too. I did put signs up, but it's still confusing. So that's the switch box that's been blown up to open the vault. That goes, oh yeah, that goes to the spawn, so that was the sniper actor shooting me for daring to put my head in. And that's actually the AI bots shooting me, waiting in the vault, and they've turned the lights off. So there's a lot of dynamic lighting going on here. There's a switch to turn the lights off, I can't remember for the life of me where it is. Or maybe that was the switch box that you blow up. Yeah, so the switch box you blow up and it opens the vault doors. And I don't remember. But my teammates are quick enough to run there and do it for me, so I don't have to. This is another route round, so I think this route I added in response to feedback just to give it a few more routes and to make the map a little bigger. By this point I was fighting off BSP holes all the time. I've given you my view on BSP. Yeah, and you can go through some of the buildings but they're not properly enterable. No main objectives. But again, you have to watch the performance here. There are more polygons in a single static mesh in Unreal Engine 4 than there are in this entire map, I think. So that is another way down to get a closer approach. This is a bit like a real life location. I've moved the buildings around, but they're basically taken from photos of this location. So the main doors is one way to go in, and this is another way, but you have to open it from the inside. There's no real advantage for the defenders to do that, so if an attacker gets in you can sort of take a detour to open that to get quicker access. There's a separate switch to control a lift into the vault. It all gets a bit involved. Anyway, let's go in together and shoot some people. The people may already be dead, so I'm going to take the stairs this time. And he's going one way and I'm going to go the other way. This is a way you can get there through a very dark tunnel. So there were flashlights, and I think in the latest version there were also night vision goggles, which I don't think I've used. I don't remember using. But this is basically for people who have a flashlight or night vision goggles, it's useless otherwise. But I'm ignoring that and I'm going to try and get through it. It is completely dark, which is striking. So my teammates have got the CD and they're on their way back. So there's nothing I can do here, I'm a bit stuck. But I do eventually find my way out, I think. So there we go, so now I'm in the vault, the lights are off because the fuse box was blown, so that the point of that is to make it a bit easier to get in, well in theory, without being seen. But if you're coming through that hallway you're silhouetted, so that's not very sensible. But these entry routes are a bit easier once the fuse box is gone. I can't remember how to get down from here. I forget where this goes. That's not a way. Can't remember. So no point going around. He's done the mission. It's gone all the way back to the start. So I was quite happy with that. I think the map is a bit sketchy in places, but overall I think there's a vibe to it. There's a feel of being in that sort of place. I think using the digital camera to do the textures was the key thing to make these maps look a bit better. At that time that wasn't something that was done. The textures were all quite low res and people just did them by hand. Now it's commonplace to use photos, but also things have moved on and the sort of texture resolution is better than photos can do. You're better off making things, high poly versions in things and baking them into textures, and then you get all the other bits like specularity and normal. Photos are a bit passé now, but I still use them because it's easier. So now I'm a defender. I'm going to try and put a claymore down. Except, I mean, this is the time to shine. I'm thinking where to put it. This is possibly going to get tripped by my own people, but I don't care. So I'm going to put one down here, except I must have put the wrong loadout in because there's no claymore. So I'm going to choose another loadout for next time with the claymore in it, but that's a bit annoying. So I'll just have to go and shoot people. And the attackers at this time aren't making very good progress. I don't think they've even secured the first building, so let's go and have a look. Yeah, all the foliage is standard foliage. It's a bit sketchy again, and that's I think it's mostly, see on the ground there, that's that dynamic rubbish stuff, dynamic litter. So I'm going to cut through this beautiful building if I can work out the way. There's a firefight going on in that direction. So I think my people are still defending the first building and doing it somewhat effectively. Pardon me. And I need to be careful because here I'm going to get shot by their helicopter. In this case, without any warning. So, lesson learned. My big armor vest has saved my life. And I'm approaching the location. And that's warning me that the gunship, I must have missed putting one of those warnings in the other place. Terrible, shoddy. So I need to have a bit of a run to avoid getting shot. And if you look carefully, you can see the helicopter shooting in a minute, I think. So this isn't a door, I don't think, that I can open, but there's at least 2 ways into this building. 3 ways, actually. So I'm going to go in the back way. And yeah, given the very low resolution, I think the textures actually were okay. He's on my team. Good old him, Mr. P. So there's enemies about. And so this kind of objective in Enhanced Assault, you have to have exclusive control of it for the time specified. And this time, I actually don't spanner up the grenade throw, except I think I got one of my own guys. But I didn't kill one of my own guys, so that could have been shrapnel. I think the grenades in Infiltration have a blast radius, but also throw out random shrapnel, so you can get people quite far away with a bit of damage and kill everyone in the blast radius. That's Bradley, good old Bradley. But what have I found here? Oh! So I'm going to steal that. I'm going to try and steal that. There we go. And yeah, I was going to go out there, but good old him has got on the way. So for some reason it's still not showing up. I picked up the claymore, but it's not positionable, so I don't know what's going on there. In any event, I'm about to die because I'm doing that, and lo and behold, yeah, quite a few of them shooting at me. But now I'm going to get a claymore. This is the thing that makes me excited. I'm going to hopefully finally place a claymore. I've got time because I slowed down capturing objectives. This is how it's supposed to be. I'm now distracted because I started off in the control room where all the whiz-bang things. I'm turning that, so that's opening the door to the sort of bit where you drive in to the right of the normal doors. I think I want the common leader activated, so I want to have a go on it. So I'm going to, yeah, I forget where that goes, so I'm just ignoring it. I'm going to go down and play in the vault. And I was wondering why the lights were on, but I've figured that out now. I think you need to shoot the switch panel and it can sometimes suit the defenders to do that rather than the attackers. Terrible destruction of property. So there you see the quicker keypad because I'm a defender. And this is the bit that the attackers can come down. That's where you shoot the switch box. I don't know what I'm telling you. And there's some wires and pipes on the wall. These are decos just to add a bit more flavour and detail to what's otherwise a bit of an Unreal Tournament-y sort of level. And you can see there the spotlights come on wherever I walk. So it's more impressive or fun to do that when it's dark. And that helps to really sort of catch the attackers because they're obviously spotlighted. Spotlighted. I can't remember how they get in through there, but anyway. I forget where I go next, but I'm going to ride the cargo lift out. So there's a lot of ways to get in and out, but in practice I suppose the bots do it one way, and in multiplayer everyone's just lost. I seem to recall. But people at least enjoy riding the helicopter. And yeah, a bit more logic on those lifts. It's not quite as sophisticated as it could be. You have to activate it and jump on. But let's see if we can do it. Jump. There we go. No stamina left, but what can you do? So I've taken the precaution of opening these doors so I can now walk out. I'm just having a little wander around. There was another walkway there which is pitch black. I'm not equipped with a torch that I recall, so there's that. And there's another switch there. You can open the thing from another place. But like I say, you saw the map at the beginning. It's yeah, there's a lot going on in this vault. And the attackers haven't yet secured their next objective. So I've got a bit of time. And I'm going to use it. And I'm going to do what I used to do when I was playing this multiplayer. Get the doors closed so you get a bit of warning. And I'm going to set up a claymore. So you place it in the direction you wanted to fire. Get your knife out, go on the ground. Figure out your keys. And there you go. And it's not yet armed, I need to do that. But it's looking good so far. So this is how you do multiplayer. And you can disable it, you can throw a grenade in to disable it, if you can get to the claymore you can disable it. I think you can even cut the wire in some way, but there we go. That is armed and ready, and it will kill somebody. And now it's just time to wait. But I will also do what I would have done in multiplayer way back in the day. You want to conceal it a bit, and so they've now done their thing, they're coming. So I want to get a bit of smoke out there. I will in a minute, I promise. And I've forgotten, this is also an area you can control. I guess this will allow you to spawn here maybe, if you control it. Or it'll make the defenders spawn further away. I think actually yes, if you capture the lobby, the defenders then start spawning around the back of the building and have a bit of a sprint to get back. So not long now. So I'm the last defender, which is very exciting. Telling you it's exciting doesn't make it exciting, I know. But here we go. Let's get some smoke.
Flag out!
There is a danger of setting off the claymore, but I didn't do that. And as I said before, the smoke in Infiltration is fairly thick, and it is fairly good, so It's good for concealing claymores, it's good for getting soft cover if you get from A to B at a choke point, all that kind of stuff. And now we wait. We wait and we wait. Oh, there's somebody at the door. And that's it. I killed him. And that was the last attacker, so we win. So there you go. That's most of the level. I haven't shown you some bits of the map, but hope you enjoyed it. Okay, bye.